Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Moto here, and today I'm gonna be doing like a kind of like tutorial-based video. I'm gonna teach you guys the best GoPro mount and basically best settings and what microphone I prefer. Being I've only used one microphone since I've started YouTube, but anyways, and I'll also tell you guys alternatives and yeah, many different mounts that you could use. You could use a chest mount, you could use helmet cam, handlebars, anything. But I'm gonna tell you guys what I prefer and why, and I'll tell you guys what the good and the bad is with each mount. So a lot of people prefer the top of the bill. The reason why I don't prefer the top of the bill is because the higher up the GoPro is, the much slower the footage is gonna look. It's gonna make it seem like everything's slower. I don't know why it does that with GoPro, specifically GoPro. I'm not sure if it's like that with other action cams or not. From my experience, the higher up, the worse it's gonna look. And also with the bill, you're gonna get half of the bill in. You're not gonna get body movement, or you won't get body movement, bar movement, nothing like that. So it won't look right. And it also takes away from the footage and makes it look like the viewers can't see what you're seeing. So I don't prefer the top of the bill. That's just like a preference thing. It depends on if you want to talk or not, and it depends on, I don't know, what you might be doing. Would be underneath the bill, which I have a mount here, but I'm thinking about just taking it off because I don't really enjoy it, and it takes up a little bit of space, and you have to have the bill all the way up sometimes, and you have to cram the camera in, and it's just not ideal, I guess. I mean, I did use it for a while, but I decided not to because it still made my footage look really slow and look like I didn't know what I was doing, and yeah, I just wasn't a fan of it. Other spots would be like on the side of the helmet down here. I started out with on the side of the helmet, but it's not ideal because you get half of the helmet in the camera, and depending on what kind of settings you're using, so that's kind of like a bad side of that, and it's a lot of extra weight on one side of the helmet, so it's kind of leaning towards whichever way it's on. And it's also kind of like a hazard because you could possibly lose your GoPro or your action camera by hitting it off a tree by accident because you're not used to how far it comes out. And you have to use a lot of extensions depending on what kind of extensions you have. So I don't prefer that. Down here isn't bad, but it's off-centered, and I like centered. And the more centered it is, the better. And the more lower it is better. You could use a chest mount, but the chest mounts, like, you're not getting head movement or anything like that. And if you're doing like motocross or racing or anything like that, you're gonna be leaning forwards and backwards a lot. So if you're leaning forwards, you're gonna see more of your bars than anything else. So I don't prefer a chest mount unless you're a tall dude. If you're a tall dude, then go for the chest mount. And it would be really weird to connect a microphone to it if you're trying to motovlog. So what I prefer to do is have it on the front. I have like a little strap here, and then I put like a little bit of the sticky stuff that connects the mounts onto the helmet so I don't ruin or scuff up the front of my face. And I have this locked in from the straps, and then I have basically curved and down. And then what it would do, the reason why I have it upside down is because it's a lot more lower, and it looked really nice because you can get more bar action, more body movement, and also you can still see in front of you, and it makes the wheelies honestly look amazing. If you guys saw my how to wheelie video, this is the mounting system that I used in that video, and it made the wheelies look awesome. I mean, you couldn't really see in front of me, but you saw what I was doing with my legs and my hands and everything, like the clutch movement, front brake, all that. So that's a plus side of this, and I really don't see any like downsides to it other than the fact that it adds a little bit of extra weight in the front, but it's okay. I always prefer to have it centered up like this and a little bit outwards. I used to have the GoPro like facing like this, and it would be connected like directly right here, but it'd be a little bit too high up, and it made the footage look really bad. So I prefer not to do it like that anymore. I just like having it like down here. It makes it look really smooth. So if I was starting out, I'd probably just go ahead, get an accessory kit on Amazon for like $20, and it'll come with all the stuff that you need. My Amazon kit came with this, so that's why I have this, and it comes with this. And also, if you want to make your photos look really good and you don't have anybody to record for you, but you want third-person view, you could always bring a chest mount with you. That's one thing that chest mounts are good because of the plate that's on the chest mount. I would show you guys, but I'm using my chest mount right now as like a tripod kind of. And it sits still. It's like flat, so you get pretty good footage out of it. That's what I'm using right now, and it's perfect. But I do have like an extension thing that comes up, and yeah, that works. So starting out, I definitely recommend the front cam and not worrying about putting on like extra stuff like all the mounts and stuff. Makes your helmet look really bad. And if you guys are gonna get an action camera, I definitely recommend the GoPro Hero 4. I use the black edition. It's only like $130 on Amazon. It's not bad. It does what it needs to do. It's honestly a really good camera. To get in the settings, if you guys want really good settings, you don't really need anything more than 1080. I mean, like more than 720p really. I don't really see a difference between 1080p or 720p. They generally look the same, so I stick with 720p just because it saves some card space. So I stick with that, and then I do super view with 60 frames. You can't really, with super view, you can't go any lower than 60 frames, which isn't a bad thing. If you want to slow things down, it's actually pretty decent because it slows it down to half, and you can go to 30 frames and it'll still look pretty decent. Not that bad, but it's all a preference thing. It just depends on what you're doing, what you're recording. And yeah, if you guys want more like how-to or tutorial videos, I hope you guys enjoyed. So yeah.